soldiers, they also lost track of the two suspected bombers in Sulu. Pat Mangune with the details.
Following the death of 4 soldiers in the hands of policemen in Jolo, the army is disappointed that they missed the chance to immediately apprehend 2 suspected bombers that the victims were tailing. The terrorists are allegedly connected to a series of suicide bombings in Sulu last year.
Imagine the lost opportunity there. 2 bombers supposed to be captured and neutralized. Nakawala sila. And the potential of these 2 bombers of sowing terror.
While they remain at large, Malacanang also fears that they might stage another bombing.
Siyempre po, dahil ibig sabihin, yung pinaplano ng mga teroristang yan na mambomba, pwede mangyari kahit anong oras dahil hindi nga po sila napigilan ng mga napatay na kasundaluhan.
But for the armed forces, the mission continues. AFP Chief of Staff General Felimon Santos Jr. says intelligence units in Sulu will not stop tracking the suspects. Security in the area also remains tight to prevent any terrorist attacks. The army, meanwhile, is puzzled why the police apparently abandoned the scene right after the shootout. It can be seen in the CCTV footage that the soldiers who responded to the incident were freely moving around the crime scene, which was not taped off with a police line.
Pag may napatay, you have to cordon the area and wait for SOCO. Wala, nagtakbuhan lahat eh. So, ano ibig sabihin nun? So, this is one thing, another thing we want to find out in the investigation.
The Philippine National Police says they refuse to meddle with the NBI's probe. According to spokesperson Police Brigadier General Bernard Banak, all officers found to have abused their authority will be punished under the law.
Hindi po kukonsintihin ng PNP kung sakali mang may naging pagkakamali, may ebidensya na papatunay na nagmalabis sa kapangyarihan ng ating mga pulis, at kung may naging paglabag sa batas ay mananagot po sila sa ilalim ng ating batas at maihain natin ang hustisya.
The PNP hopes that the NBI will find all the necessary evidence for the case. For News 5, Patricia Mangune. We are One News.
The U.S. Defense Department is raising concerns about Beijing's military exercises in the South China Sea. In a statement, the Pentagon says the drills are counterproductive to efforts to ease tensions in the disputed region. The agency describes these as the latest in China's long string of unlawful maritime claims over its Southeast Asian neighbors. Meanwhile, the Philippine Defense Department warns that China's activities beyond its own waters could cause more tension in the region. And as for conducting joint patrols with other ASEAN countries, that's yet to be tackled, says Secretary Delfin Lorenzana. He did reveal, however, that India has volunteered to patrol the contested waters.
We did not invite them, but they volunteered to go there. So, sabi naman namin, we told them that the South China Sea is open for navigation to everybody. So, if they want to come, it's okay with us. But at the same time, maybe if they come, they will be, again, increasing the tension in the area. But we cannot really prevent other countries from passing through or doing things there in South China Sea. The British passes through the South China Sea, the French and all other countries. We did not invite them to come. We just they wanted to volunteer and come here in the area.
Still on maritime issues, the Philippine Coast Guard is now building a criminal case against the crew of the Hong Kong-flagged cargo ship Vienna Wood. Hit and run has been ruled out since Vienna Wood did stay put in the vicinity at the time of the accident. But the PCG's probe reveals that they did not attempt to lower rescue boats after colliding with Filipino fishing vessel Liberty 5. Maritime law requires Vienna Wood to actively try to save the passengers of the vessel they collided with. And with not one survivor turning up after 5 days of search and rescue operations, authorities have shifted to search and retrieval in the hope of recovering the bodies of the 14 missing Filipinos. They will do this for 4 more days before terminating the search altogether. Time now to pause for a quick break. Keep it here on One News. Good afternoon. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. The Interagency Task Force on Emerging Infectious Diseases, or IATF, approves a plan to expand national testing for COVID-19. This strategy is meant to fully utilize the 10 million RT-PCR test kits procured by the Budget and Health Departments. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque says the plan includes the testing of asymptomatic individuals. Latest data from the DOH shows that less than 1% of the population, or around 680,000 Filipinos, have been tested so far.
Kasama na po sa itetest ay hindi lang mga symptomatic at hindi lang yung mga nagkaroon ng contact sa mga mayroong COVID-19. Kasama na rin po ang mga asymptomatic at posibleng makasama na rin po yung iba pang mga frontliners gaya po ng media. No? Itetest din po natin yung iba pang mga ahensya ng gobyerno na nagsisilbing mga frontliners.
And just a few days shy of the University of the Philippines predictions, COVID-19 cases in the country have reached the 40,000 mark. That's after the country recorded its highest single-day increase for infections at over 1,500. A majority of these were reported late, which the DOH says were released to patients late last month. 6 new COVID-19 deaths were also reported, bringing the death toll to 1,280. The DOH also reported the highest number of recoveries, though, in a day with 400 new survivors. This brings total recoveries to more than 11,070. Traditional jeepneys are back across 49 routes across Metro Manila. But because of the limited number of passengers, a lot of drivers skipped the first day of their return to the streets. News 5's Gerard de la Peña is reporting to us live from QC to give us the latest. Gerard, what is the situation there with the jeepneys?
Charles, drivers of traditional jeepneys are off to a slow start after almost 4 months of non-operations due to the ongoing community quarantine.
Jeepneys on Lardizabal Street in Sampaloc, Manila waited for half an hour before they could start moving. Passengers were hard to come by, even during what was supposed to be the morning rush hour. Drivers said of the more than 200 jeepney operators plying the Lardizabal-Tayuman route, only 10 mounted trips in anticipation of lower passenger volume.
Kukunti pa yung pasahero, marami pa kasing hindi nakakaalam eh.
While for commuters, getting on jeepneys can only provide a bit of relief.
Hindi naman siya masasabing advantage kasi we're here already 1 hour, so waiting pa rin siya.
Makakaluwang ka sa pagod na lakad dahil sobrang init, pero ingat lang.
Parkers who used to summon passengers are now adapting to the new normal. They are now in charge of scanning passengers' temperatures, getting details for contact tracing, and accepting payments from passengers. Jeepneys have plastic dividers to prevent the spread of the virus inside the vehicle. However, the Transportation Department has recommendations for the plastic dividers.
Ang pinaalis natin is yung acetate doon sa harap, yung pagitan ng magkaharap na pasahero. Meron silang nilalagay na acetate. Sabi ko nga, dapat alisin yun dahil pagbaba at pagsakay ng pasahero, nasasagi siyempre ng pasahero yun. Paano kung may COVID yun, ano? So, papupunta sa katawan niya o kaya sa mukha niya.
To make sure that only allowed jeeps will ply the roads, QR codes will be made available to operators for monitoring and enforcement. It will be available in the LTFRB's website, which is expected to be up and running on Friday. The DOTR said they will apprehend those who do not have QR codes starting Monday.
Charles, we've noticed that passengers who get on in the middle of the routes are still passing around money with fellow commuters. Well, the DOTR is asking passengers to just pay directly to the drivers so as to avoid the need to pass around money inside the vehicle. Charles.
Right, I suppose old habits do die hard. Thanks for that, Gerard. That was Gerard de la Peña reporting live from Quezon City. The IATF has allowed more activities and industries under general community quarantine. These include practices for basketball and football teams. Religious gatherings of up to 10% of the venue's capacity will also be allowed starting July 10. For industries allowed under GCQ, the IATF has permitted travel agencies to resume operations with a skeletal workforce. It has also approved barbershops and salons to offer services aside from basic haircuts in GCQ areas. Meanwhile, Navotas City is gearing up for the new normal in education, all with the help of a box. What's inside this box? Laila Pangilinan tells us in this report.
With classes set to start on August 24, the Education Department has asked public schools to conduct pilot runs to assess the best mode of education for their students. In Navotas, a group of grade 6, grade 8, and kindergarten students were selected to take part in the pilot test, which ends Friday. Blended learning was the city's top choice for learning continuity, giving birth to the 11 million peso Navajo School in a Box project. The box contains modules, books, and other materials needed by public school students from kinder to senior high school. For kindergarten students, the box contains crayons, pencils, toys, and other art materials. It also has worksheets for parents who will guide their kids in learning from home. Teacher Fatty, a kindergarten teacher and one of the brains behind Navajo School in a Box, says teachers will still play a crucial role, but parents need to extend their full cooperation.
We need to still facilitate the learning process. We will be with the parents po through communication sa messenger.
All subjects and activities will be scheduled, and just like in school, the day starts with a prayer and a bit of exercise. Teacher Fatty sends video instructions via a messenger chat group. Storytelling time by Teacher Fatty is also delivered via messenger. And to assess if the kids are enjoying while learning, parents have to send real-time videos or pictures of their kids while studying at home.
Yung pagsisend din po nila ng pictures and videos, nagsisilbi din pong motivation for other classmates. So kahit po hindi sila nagkakita pa ng personal, hindi ko pa rin po sila nakita ng personal, nagkakaroon po tayo ng rapport.
Lexi is one of the students selected to participate in the pilot run. Her mom Raquel says she's still adjusting to her new role as an instructor.
Nakakaubos po talaga ng energy. Kasi po, katulad ko po, housewife po ako. Ako po yung gumagawa ng trabaho dito sa bahay.
But for Teacher Fatty, this is the pandemic's silver lining.
The program really is a home-based learning. Bumabalik po tayo doon ulit sa partnership ng bahay at ng paaralan na hindi na lamang po para sa aming mga guro yung responsibilidad ng pagpapataguyod po ng pag-aaral ng mga bata.
For the LGU and DepEd Navotas, the Navajo School in a Box is proof that the full commitment of parents will go a long way in keeping up with the school in the time of COVID. For News 5, Laila Pangilinan, we are One News.
For more updates, follow News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis, and you can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Just register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. We are One News.